Good morning everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's a beautiful Saturday morning here in North Tyneside and it's match day. Bournemouth are the visitors to St James's Park this afternoon in a 3 o'clock kickoff. It's just before 9:30. So kickoff's in just over 5.5 hours and I'm at the Tyne Tunnel Trading Estate. There's High Flatworth pitch. I used to actually train and play on there back in the day, so it's been a while since I've been down this way, but I had to come for an errand this morning. But I thought rather than bringing the car, I'm going to get me steps in, so I've walked down here from home. So yeah, just while I head back home now it's done, I just wanted to get a little video in. With it being match day and the Cherries come to St James's Park and they're in red hot form. But before I get onto that, I just want to talk about EddieHowe's press conference yesterday. Now, we all know EddieHowe normally gives the diplomatic answer. He's very controlled and articulate in what he says, and yeah, it's like watching a political interview. He normally doesn't give anything away, but you know what? For once, yesterday, he wore his heart on his sleeve, and like a boxer on the ropes who looked like he was down and out, ready to be KO'd, he came back fighting. And I like that. I do like that. He was asked questions on his future. Does he still have the fire in his belly? And what can him and the players do for the rest of this season? What are they going to offer? What does he expect? And I love that. I love that, honestly, I do. Now, it's only to an extent though. I just want to caveat that and say, of course, the proof will be in the pudding this afternoon. The main points I've taken are you the man for the rebuild? What do fans need to see from you and your team for the rest of this season? These final 6 games, with it being match day 33 today. He said, I want a team that's prepared to run to attack with a high motivation level, high quality and freedom. I want to be entertained watching the team. I don't want to think I don't recognise them. I've felt that this season. I've been disappointed. I need to see what I coach on the pitch. And you know what? I do like that. Again, the proof will be in the pudding this afternoon. But EddieHowe has thrown down the gauntlet to his players. He said, I am giving you the right instructions and you've got to go out there and execute them. But again, if the players do that today, then it'll look like, despite accusations that they're not playing for him anymore, it'll show that they are listening and they are trying, because there has been some questions over, do the players like the instructions he's given? Do they like his tactics? And why do they fall flat in the second half? What does he say at half time? Or is it that the players feel that they're not liking what they're being instructed to do, so they're taking it upon themselves and trying something different? But EddieHowe has reiterated that he is sending them out to attack and he's not telling them to do anything different. So, fair play to the manager. Look, he's still got a lot to win me around. You know, I'm in the EddieHowe out camp at the moment because he hasn't done enough to prove that he can turn it around. You need to see the evidence in the games because it's a results business. And look, I know he's felt down, he's felt dejected, he's looked battle weary after this grueling schedule this season. But I like his fighting talk. For once, he's wore his heart on his sleeve. He hasn't just sat there like a robot with media trained answers. Let's see if the players can go out today and actually execute that. Now, a good question that Charlie Bennett actually put to him, which EddieHowe sort of laughed off, but I did think he took some exception to it. He went, you are a hero, that's in no doubt, but would you walk away before it becomes too toxic and you're cast as the villain? And that takes us back to one of my favourite films and one of my favourite film trilogies, The Dark Knight, where Harvey Dent's sitting there with Rachel Dawes and Bruce Wayne, and he says, either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain, which happened in the end when he became Two-Faced. Quote resonates a bit. Like what Charlie Bennett meant is, if you stay too long, then people will start turning against you, and you don't want his legacy, everything he's done here and Champions League qualification campaigns and winning us a long overdue and coveted trophy, to all be ruined because of this season. EddieHowe's response was robust. I just want to serve the club, to do what's right for the football club. That's always been my aim. If leaving helps the club, that is what I will do. I've got no issues doing that. It's not about me. But I believe I'm the right man to take the club forward, which I do currently. Right now, I'll do that to fight to the end. I'll fight harder than I ever have before. And I like that. I do. I like this fighting talk from EddieHowe for once. But you know what? What do I think though? Would he walk away? Yes, I do believe he would. I believe he's a man of honour. I do believe he'd put the football club before himself if it deteriorated further, as I feel performances have deteriorated this season. I've said it countless times before. I don't need to go back into those reasons. But what I think would happen is he'd come to a compromise with the club and they'd agree for him to walk away, and he may still get a payoff of some sort, because managers don't really walk away these days, do they? Because of the lucrative contracts that they get and the payoffs. If they are sacked, they sort of hold on until the club sack them. But I don't think that would happen with EddieHowe, because I do think he is a man of integrity and I don't think he is driven by money. But I think there would be a compromise so you could leave the club on good terms, so fans will always remember him fondly if it did come to that. Now, one thing I want to touch on the questions he was asked is, early on the season he said he wants to evolve us into becoming a passing team rather than just a pressing team, and what a team full of runners. And he said we are a passing style team, but I don't think we are, because we still haven't signed that technical quality player. Yes, we've got two good technical players in Bruno, who we desperately hopes back today, and then also Jacob Ramsey, who dumbfounded at why he didn't come on earlier against Crystal Palace on Sunday. But I still feel that we are a team full of runners, and when we run out of steam, teams can pick what off. That might be Bournemouth's tactics today. They know we'll try and come herring out the blocks, whatever team is put out there by Howe. But we haven't signed that technical player yet. So I disagree with them on that. I don't think we are that passing team. I do still think we are the team of runners, because he was challenged on that and he says, I believe in my style of play that's brought us success. Maybe shows he's not learning from his mistakes. Is he oblivious to the bigger picture, the problems that have plagued with this season? Well, I don't know. And finally, he done a metaphor. He was asked if he still has the fire in his belly, and he said, the fire is burning very, very strongly with lots of wood stacked up. We've got to keep this momentum going. He's still hungry, and said this is just a temporary dip. And the fans have to back the players, the team tomorrow. That meaning today. And look, that's exactly what I'm going to do. Whatever my constructive criticisms are of EddieHowe or the team's dip in performances this season, especially in the league, when I go in there, I'm backing them fully. I'm doing that this afternoon, and then I give my opinions after the match based on what I've seen. But he still believes he's the man to take us forward, but the only way he can do that is by getting wins. And I feel out of these last 6 games, we're not going to win at Arsenal next week, I don't believe, despite we're normally raising a game against the so-called bigger clubs. So I think we've got to win today. We've got to beat Brighton, then we've got to beat Forest, West Ham, and then Fulham on the final day. 5 wins might give me some form of hope that EddieHowe can turn it around. But even if we win today, it's not a corner turn, because it's just 1 victory out of the 5 we need out of these remaining games. Because as it stands, all it is talk. We've heard EddieHowe talking before, even though I like his passionate defence yesterday coming out swinging. But again, as I've said at the outset of this video, the proof will be in the pudding this afternoon, and if we can beat a very talented Bournemouth team. Now on to today's visitors, and it's Bournemouth who are on Tyneside, a team who I feel have been our kryptonite since EddieHowe came in. Although we beat them on the way to the League Cup final in the 22-3 season 1-0, and we beat them on penalties after a 3-3 humdinger earlier this season in the FA Cup, we just can't seem to get a win against Bournemouth, home or away. And look, we were on a cracking, was it 9-10 game winning sequence last season? Then Bournemouth came here and the thrashed were 4-1, and they were the best team I saw at St James's Park last season. And they're on a great run at the moment. It's a club record unbeaten run that stretches all the way back to mid-January, where they've played 12, won 5 and drew 7. And they are a real threat. Despite Andoni Iraola, it's announced that he is leaving at the end of the season. So will Bournemouth play for him today? Or will it be a case of, right, we know the manager's going, so we don't need to put in a performance? But I do feel Bournemouth, because it's rumoured that they did know he was leaving before they went to the Emirates last Sunday and won, and put in an outstanding performance when Arsenal needed to win the title, and Bournemouth took them apart, and they could easily do the same to us today. So I feel they will be playing for the manager, because they like us. They still have a chance of European qualification, although the games are running out. We are 14th on 42 points, and I think we have a goal difference of -2. But Bournemouth are on 45 points, 3 places ahead of us in 11th, and their goal difference is 1 better off on -1. Now, the early game today at 12:30 is Brentford against Fulham. And then the later game is Chelsea against Manchester United at Stamford Bridge, and Brighton go to Spurs. So depending on how results go today, we could end up finishing the day in 11th, I believe. And then it would put with 3 points off Chelsea in 6th. Obviously, it depends how other results go, but that's a rough estimate of what could happen today, depending if results do go our way. What have I thought of Bournemouth this season too? I think they're an outstanding team, to be honest, despite them constantly having their players poached. As I covered in Thursday's video, they've lost the likes of Aretha Balaga in goal. They've lost the left-back Milos Kerkez to Liverpool, Dean Huijsen to Real Madrid. But they just keep going and going and going. And that's credit to their recruitment model and also credit to the manager, Iraola. He's now being replaced, it's been announced, by Marco Rose, formerly of Red Bull Leipzig. But yeah, Bournemouth, they're a brave team. They're aggressive. They take risks. They're in your face. They build up from the back. The confidence to knock the ball around. A lot of their play goes through their full-backs. And Bournemouth do have some cracking players as well. You've got Evan Nielsen, who looks like he's grown and settled into the Premier League. He's a bit of a handful up front. Marcus Tavernier, he is a workhorse. He grafts. You've got Junior Krupi. He's a little tricky customer. I've been impressed when I've seen him on highlights on Match of the Day, etc. this season. And then you've got the standout performer for them. He scored up here when we played them in the FA Cup, and he scored the winner at the Emirates, Alex Scott. He's been a standout player for them this season. Though I do feel their weakness is from set pieces, but I don't feel we score that many set pieces these days anyway. So what would be my team? I'd stick with Aaron Ramsdale in goal. Pointless changing your goalkeeper for the last 6 games. I'd have Miley at right back now he's back. I just feel he's got the mobility and more pace than Trippier to deal with their pacey players, especially the fullbacks who bomb down the wings. I wouldn't play Livramento because his head's gone. I feel he wants to be away. Lewis Hall left back. Centre backs would be Malik Chow, and I'd have Dan Burn, and I'd bring Dan Burn back in for this game. Just because I feel Sven Botman, that defensive error he made at Palace, I'd bring Burn back in because I feel Botman's looking a bit shaky. Midfield, it'll be Tonali, Ramsey, and I'm praying to God that Bruno Guimaraes is back. It was great that the club posted yesterday. He's back in full training with the squad. Now he's recovered from mumps, so we'll wait and see if he's in the squad today, but it'll certainly give him more hope and optimism if Bruno's there. On the wings, I'd go pace on the right with Anthony Elanga. On the left, I'd go Harvey Barnes. I just feel, again, for the reasons linked this week with Anthony Gordon said to be one away, I'd play Barnes. Barnes would deserve to start. And I'd play Voltemada as well. Play Voltemada in attack. Just please do not play him in midfield. Give the lad a chance. Put him in there. And if we're fullbacks, as I said on Sky, if they need to overlap and push their fullbacks in, which are key to their system working, and then well, wingers can invert and come inside and be the runners around Voltemada and his touches, and Bruno getting in there on the ball to make things happen. So that would be my team. And what would be my scoreline? Well, I'd go, if Bruno's there, I think we can get something, but I'd say it would be a 2-2 draw. I just don't feel we might win the day against a team like Bournemouth. They seem to have one number. Although, yeah, it could be a case of role reversals. They're an unbeaten run, and then we beat them this time like they did to us last season 4-1. So, yeah, if Bruno's there, I'm going to go a 2-2. If Bruno's not there, I am predicting a 3-1 loss. Sorry to be negative, but I'm just not feeling that we could get the win today at the moment. I just want to finish this video as well by saying congratulations to Coventry City. Frank Lampard's led them back to the Premier League after a 25-year absence, and they've overcome issues like having to move away from their home, but now they own the stadium again. They're back at the CBS Arena, and well done to Lampard as well. Honestly, he's had playoff heartache with Derby, sacked by Chelsea, sacked by Everton, and then the Mackhams beat Coventry last season in the playoffs as well, didn't they? So yeah, to come up with a team who don't have parachute payments, that's full credit to them. So yeah, that's a new away trip next season to the CBS Arena. So to conclude, Eddie Howe came out fighting, but we'll see the proof in the pudding today. Are the players still behind him? Are they still listening to him? Or are they bored of his tactics and his voice? And I feel he hasn't refreshed his backroom team. The only person who's changed on it in recent years has been Graham Jones, but he inherited him from the Steve Bruce era. Although Howe did defend it yesterday, saying, if you were behind closed doors with me, you can see they very much don't agree with me all the time. And sometimes it's better to lean on those who you know and trust. But yeah, we'll wait and see. Eddie Howe's turned it around before, but that's why I'm in the camp of I'm not behind him at the moment, because I want him to turn it around. I like him, But at the same time, our longest winning run over 2 sequences this season has been 2 wins in a row. So yeah, Eddie Howe needs to prove that he's got aces up his sleeve still and he can turn it around this afternoon. But that's it from me for now. Thank you so much for watching. Please do like, please do comment on anything I've discussed if you'd like to have a conversation, and please do subscribe. And if you want to be notified when the latest videos are uploaded to the channel, hit that notification bell and please do hit the hype button. And thank you so much as well, all my current subscribers, and welcome on board to all the new ones. Thank you so much for joining and supporting the channel. Now, I will be doing a post-match reaction video from St James's Park this afternoon. However, it won't be uploaded immediately because I am on Sky Sports News again today. I can't wait. I'll be on at approximately 6:15 p.m. So I will see you then. Thank you so much for the support in advance if you are watching. And then if you keep an eye out and you hit the notification bell and subscribe to the channel, you'll be notified when my post-match reaction is uploaded. So that's it for now. So enjoy your Saturday and let's hope we can get that much needed win and get back into European contention. Bye for now.